Thanh Hóa, the province that epitomizes Vietnam in the vast central region. It is located in the middle of North Vietnam and the North Central Coast. It is the extension of the northwestern region and is home to many forests, deltas, and a coast with long stretching beaches. Here you can find fishing villages that have been around for thousands of years. The land with rugged mountains and winding rivers. The land with a rich culture and long-standing history. The ancient villages that uphold traditional values. Thanh Hóa is a peaceful land and was the cradle of ancient Vietnamese civilization and culture.
My name's Kevin. I'm from the United States. I've been living in Vietnam for about 5 years now. Prior to coming here to Thanh Hóa, I've traveled around, got to see the city, what there is for the history, as well as seeing the beach. So we got to see a little bit of everything, and I think that is what Thanh Hóa is. It's a small area that has a little bit of everything.
Throughout the history of Vietnam, Thanh Hóa province has been the cradle of Đông Sơn culture. This is also where traces of ancient Vietnamese people were found. Many caves inhabited by ancient Vietnamese were excavated and many precious artifacts were found.
Besides the Dog Mountain, we have Nuông Mountain and Quan Yên Mountain, three relics about the dog cultures in Thanh Hóa. And you can see Con Mong Cave. Con Mong is a special relics nations of Thanh Hóa. In here has thousands of objects from Hòa Bình culture, Bắc Sơn cultures.
So why is it so many people came to Thanh Hóa to make their home all those thousands of years ago?
I think that's Thanh Hóa with a lot of the cave and the weather very good for the ancient Vietnamese alive.
Now I see on these two drums here, they both have animals on the sides. What are these animals and why are they there?
This animal is chalk, yes. And Vietnamese people believe that when the toss cold, the rain is coming.
Okay, so if you see a toad, there will be rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Đông Sơn represents the traditional culture of Vietnam, reflecting a period of splendid cultural development of the ancient Vietnamese. In Thanh Hóa, many bronze drums, which represent Đông Sơn culture, were found. Moving about 60 kilometers westward, we reached Cửa Đại Lake in Thường Xuân District. Cửa Đại Lake is located in Xuân Liên Nature Reserve and is covered in fog all year round. With its system of rivers, streams, and mountains, people in Thanh Hóa province fish and do agricultural work. People in Cửa Đại have never lived their lives separated from the water. We are following Mr. Dương, Vice Director of Solian Nature Reserve, to know more about the region.
It's nearly 3,000 hectares.
Almost 3,000
Yes,
hectares.
the main purpose of the lake is to provide water for the hydroelectric power.
Roughly how many people actually do fish out here on the lake? Do you know?
I think that maybe from 100 to 200,000.
Only 100 to 200 people fish on this lake. And then where can they sell the fish? Like where do they find buyers?
You know, they can sell in the market or in the restaurant.
So that means a lot of the restaurants around here have really, really fresh fish that just came straight from this lake that they bought.
Mr. Vùng, you know, this one local household.
Has the way people catch fish, has it changed?
Okay.
Following Hưng, a fisherman in Cửa Đại Lake, we had the chance to experience the very simple techniques of his family for catching fish, from the cast net to the fight net and lift net. These techniques have been passed down to him from his ancestors.
Đây là cái truyền thống của cái dân đây. Đánh bắt làm bằng cái vó này là gọi là vó đèn. Đó, người ta làm bằng cây luồng, cây tre. Đợi đến giờ cho nó chập tối thì mới bật đèn.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool.
How are you?
Không sao. Chưa sao. So while back in Hanoi and Saigon, people would probably be asleep at this time, about 1 a.m. Out here, these guys are making money. They've taken a couple hits of tuk lao, so they've got the energy they need to go and now pull in the catch, hopefully, assuming the fish swam into the trap that we set earlier today. You're literally going to catch fish as they escape, right with your hand.
dồn cá sang đây anh Tiến ơi. Đấy đấy, cô này đang dàn này. Phải cho cao lên, không có lợn nhảy ra ngoài hết.
Oh my.
Bây giờ mấy các bạn.
All right.
Cá rô phi anh.
So in this one white crate here, we've got approximately 60 kilos of fish. It's definitely more than enough to feed everybody else here that's on the crew as well. So it was definitely a good experience to come out here to see where the food actually does come from, see this very different way of living life, and walk away with a better appreciation of Thanh Hóa, I think.
Located 45 kilometers west of Thanh Hóa City, Bến An National Park in New Thanh District, Thanh Hóa Province, is dubbed the Hạ Long Bay on land of Thanh Hóa Province.
Right, so now you're going to show us Suối Tiên Cave in Bến An National Park. Is that right?
Yes.
Great, sounds good. Shall we go? Cool.
In addition to the small caves where ancient Vietnamese people used to live that were discovered and excavated, Bến An National Park also has a variety of unspoiled caves which only a few people know about. I was so lucky to have the chance to see them with a look.
So coming in, there was like a small little bit of an opening, and if you didn't know what you were looking for, you're probably going to miss that. But luckily we've got an expert here to show us where we're going. I was a little bit worried when we came in because it was quite small. But the second we got through that part, it just opened up this massive, like, cathedral-sized interior.
Cái hang động này nó chưa lâu, thạch nhũ nó chưa nhiều, nhưng ở đây là cái khu vực mà tập trung rất là nhiều thạch nhũ đẹp. Nó tầng tầng lớp lớp và màu sắc, phối cái màu sắc rất là đẹp này.
Is that also why this is the same color as well?
Như cái trường hợp như này là do nước chảy đây.
So it sounds like wind, water was mostly up here, a little bit here, and then that's the same thing that we had going on over here. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is cool. I never thought rocks would be cool.
Can you see the different?
Yeah, it's night and day. I mean, this is obviously like a very, very red color, and like you said, not nearly as pretty as the. It almost looks yellow, gold, and like we said, shiny.
Like the gold and like the diamond.
Yeah, gold and diamonds, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, this is cool. It really does look like the water, the stone is just making waves all through the ceiling. The wind and the water coming through cuts through the stone, and we get like those etchings and all the patterns that we see. It's a similar kind of thing, but it's a very different perspective to see it coming through. And I don't know, because it's in a cave, I guess the wind gets into more different places and more different cracks and everything like that, so it's creating much more, I don't know if elegant is the right word, but these very unique stone pattern structures that I haven't seen. I've been to some other smaller caves in other countries, but this is quite different and worth seeing in person.
We are staying and in living room.
So our guide mentioned that the cave inside is structured sort of like a house. There's a living room, bedroom, kitchen, and a bit of a storage area. And you can kind of see that is the structures of the cave, the kind of stones we've been surrounded by changed step by step by step.
Và đây là cái khánh đá. Cái khánh đá là một nhạc cụ cổ truyền của người Việt Nam. Các em có thể dùng đá để gõ vào để tạo ra những âm thanh rất là khác biệt. Ví dụ chơi được một bản nhạc truyền thống có thể là của Việt Nam chỉ bằng duy nhất một cái khánh đá này thôi. Mời nhân viên thử xem nào. Nhân viên thử xem.
What is it here? Wow, I can feel it too.
Cái ghẻ nó lệch nhau một đá, lệch nó mới.
It's so cool.
Đúng rồi. Sập sập thì đô sòn, nó đô dê đấy. Đó là bài người ta múa nhảy sạp, múa sạp.
So with this stone, actually, you were just knocking it a second ago, where you can produce different sounds, and you were saying the Thai ethnic people actually will use stone instruments to make their music. So not wood, not wind, like many other people are used to, but actual physical stone.
Oh yes.
Okay. And would people actually use this stone inside this actual cave?
Yes.
Okay, so people really lived here, and people probably use this to create music, and you can feel the entire thing vibrating just like a drum.
Yeah. Here.
And that side.
Yeah.
So you got so many different kinds of sounds.
Oh, different sound. This is music.
Yeah, I don't know how to play, but I'm sure the right person can make fantastic music with this. Well, I mean, it makes sense. We use a lot of other substances to vibrate, create reverberation, and create music. But maybe just because it's so heavy or so difficult to make instruments out of stone, I wouldn't have really thought of producing some sort of percussion instrument from just a piece of rock. But apparently people do this in Thanh Hoa, especially the Thai people. So it makes sense, just I wouldn't have thought about it. Well, it's sweet. I might need to practice a little more. Actually getting in and getting through here was not difficult at all. There's a little bit of water, yeah. And it was a little bit cold, but not that big of a deal. You just need to watch where you're going, step carefully, and like I keep grabbing at the walls and everything else like that. I trying to have 1, 2, 3 points of contact at all time, and I'm not worried. I feel stable. I feel like it's easy enough to get through. A little bit of exercise and stretching at some points, but nothing too bad. And that's same for somebody like me who doesn't really do too much stretching like I should. But it has a sense of adventure, but it doesn't have a sense of, oh my God, I can't do this. And then the cave was, of course, very impressive. I mean, there's a small kind of opening. You look at it from outside, it doesn't look like much, but the second you get through, it just opens up to a massive cathedral of stone inside. Just truly, truly remarkable examples of the natural beauty of Thanh Hoa. So people have called this area the Halong Bay of Thanh Hoa.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because they have, as you know, they have 21 island on the lake.
So Halong Bay is, of course, very, very popular with tourists.
Yes.
Do you often see people come and visiting this lake as well?
It's about 20,000 come here. 20,000 people come here per year.
So going to the village, it very much was clear that we were inside a national park. I mean, you saw species of birds hanging out in the trees that you don't see in other places. The water was very calm, clean, and serene. And the air was clear. So you could actually see off in many different directions, see a little mountain sticking out of the water. So yeah, it was very much a sense that you were leaving behind the rest of the world and then getting into something a little bit different. How different? It was hard to really say until we got there.
first is cua luống dance, one of special action before harvesting.
For the harvest, for just a good feeling and for good luck, it sounds like.
Okay. Xin chào các cô. Can you show?
I need somebody to
Okay,
teach me,
okay,
but
okay.
yeah.
Đây, cô nói này. Đâm vào cái đây của đây 3 lần nhá. Cứ ra mà làm.
It's okay. Whatever. Không biết. Mệt quá. Are you okay? Okay.
It's a lot more difficult than it looks. Again, it's really simple. It's really fun. It's something everybody does together. It's
Very fun. One more.
one more.
Okay.
Okay.
Please. 1, 2, 3. Mệt không? Mệt không? Are you tired? Hot. Một chút. Very fun. Funny. Okay. Vâng.
Take a break. Oh yeah, good idea.
Tí nữa là làm với các cô nhá. Nhà ba bố cô này là làm.
After one more.
I don't know, a little bit tired, but really, it's simple, but it's fun. Frankly, it's fun. I mean, you heard the people laughing and talking and stuff like that. So.
Nhưng mà cô nói này, ví dụ cháu làm ngoại tay, cháu lại trở sang bên đây.
Trên
Trên là cô làm ví dụ thế này. Đúng rồi. Cô làm ví dụ cô làm thế này ở bên đây mỏi rồi, ta lại trở sang bên đây. Làm được mà, cháu làm được, nghị lực cháu làm được. Rồi, nhưng mà phải nhanh. Phải nhanh.
Okay.
Không phải tay lên này.
Smart. Tinh minh. Smart.
Rồi nhá. Nhưng mà các cô quen thì các cô làm một bên, nhưng mà cháu không quen, cháu làm hai bên. Nói bên này, chuyển bên này.
Use both sides.
Đúng rồi.
Okay. Expert level technique. Right. Cảm ơn cô.
Mơ ơi lâu chăm mơ men choai chăm quấy.
Mời rồi đó, mời cả đi.
Please.
Mời.
Rồi, bắt đầu. Ơi lục loại chấp cọp
เอาเนื้อเท่าไหร่นายเขาบอกกินเลย
It's what it seems to be the recurring theme here, is that things are simple and things are involving a lot of people and there's a lot of laughing, and you know, you don't need iPads and you don't need the internet and you don't need everything else like that to have a night that you're going to remember for a long, long time, or to connect with people or anything else like that. So it's fun. It's definitely different from anything else I've done. I've lived in Vietnam for almost 5 years now, but still this is, yeah, it's still different. It's still unique. I guess it's just that there's simply so much more in Thanh Hoa than I actually thought there was going to be. I mean, I had no idea that the furthest history of any people in Vietnam exists here in Thanh Hoa. I didn't realize that there were as many lakes and as many national parks here that are worth visiting. Of course, you know, if you're coming through, it's worthwhile to stop by here, spend 2 or 3 days and see some of the different sites and things. I think a lot of people kind of miss that. Like a lot of people, they take trips very quickly going either south or going north, and they miss these smaller stops along the way, and they're definitely worth some time, especially to understand more about the way people live outside of cities, outside of the norm of what a lot of people see, whether it's actually really getting to know some of the ethnic minorities or seeing how people actually still work in the same way that their father and their father's fathers have been doing work. Is worth stopping by in Thanh Hoa and seeing all that there is to offer. There's definitely more than I thought there would be, and I think anybody who comes here will find more than they expected as well.